Hey, hi everyone. Do you have a painting at home? Or have you seen a painting anywhere in the neighborhood, or have you been to some museum, or have you seen it in some gallery? I'm sure you have. And here's an interesting thing. Let's say you change the frame of that painting. Okay, let's say if you change the frame of that painting, the painting starts looking a little different, doesn't it? Well, doesn't that relate a little bit? It relates closely to our life, don't you think so? Because there are situations which seem to be totally negative situations. But let me tell you one thing that nothing in this world is 100% positive or 100% negative. I'll tell you a story. This was from 2003 Cricket World Cup, where India was playing Australia in the final in Johannesburg. And Australia hit something like 359 runs batting first. Now, chasing 359 runs in 50 overs in a World Cup final is a very big ask. But then came Sachin Tendulkar with a very beautiful thought, and he said to his players that, okay, so they 359 runs. We've got 50 overs. Can we hit 50 boundaries in 50 overs? We need not hit one boundary per over. Maybe in one over you hit two or three boundaries, and maybe you don't hit any boundary in the next couple of overs. But can we hit 50 boundaries in 50 overs? The answer is yes, we can. And so 50 boundaries in 50 overs is 200 runs. So 359 runs minus 200 runs is 159 runs, isn't it? And 50 balls. So 50 overs means 300 balls minus 50 balls is 250 balls. Can we make 159 runs in 250 balls? Yes, we can. It's how you look at the problem. If you look at the problem in an overwhelming way, then of course it is going to seem overwhelming. Well, again, chasing 359 runs, I'm sure the spectators, especially the Indian spectators, a lot of them thought that it's not going to be possible. They all became negative. But then there are ways of how you can look at the positives in a situation. I'll give you another example of what is reframing. Reframing in a very simple way is you take positives out of what seems to be a negative situation. Yeah, I mean, my master trainer. This is my master trainer's example. That a woman comes and she says that my husband is useless. Okay, my husband is useless. Are you sure your husband is useless? Let me reframe that. If your husband is useless, then nobody is going to run away with him, which means he'll stay with you for the rest of your life. Isn't that an interesting thought? I mean, you take the positives from what seems to be a negative situation. That's how it is. You take any situation in your life or in anybody's life. There is a positive associated with the negative. There's a negative associated with the positive. It's true at the atom level as well. Even at the atom level, you have positive protons, negative electrons, and neutral neutrons. You try to separate the positive from the negative, and you know what happens. Well, that's the law of nature, isn't it? So, if you want to be in the right state of mind in order to achieve anything that you like or any compelling goals that you have, and if you want to be in the right state of mind, okay, then sometimes you need to reframe these negative thoughts or these negative feelings. You need to reframe them. All right. I'll give you another example. Let's say your colleague has not done the work that was agreed upon. What happens? You get angry, don't you? And suddenly that entire situation becomes very explosive. You start exchanging words with that person, and it becomes a little bit of a problem in the office. Well, and how I reframe such a situation is, well, this situation is giving me an opportunity to build my credibility in front of my colleague. Because if I help my colleague to finish the work, my colleague is going to think very highly of me. I take that as an opportunity, help my colleague. Yeah. So that's how I reframe. Sometimes in a cinema hall or in a train, you find somebody talking loudly, and where some people might just get irritated and might just object to that person. I reframe it by just thinking that let me just listen to what this person is saying. Maybe there's some element of entertainment, and I search for entertainment in whatever he or she is saying. Yeah, I generally tend to reframe such things so that I get into the correct state of mind. Well, it's all about states, like I said, like I mentioned earlier. By the way, you can use reframing when you are trying to quit smoking or trying to quit drinking. You know what happens when you're trying to quit smoking or drinking? The first couple of days is okay. The third, fourth, fifth day, then there are these withdrawal symptoms, and it really makes your life amazingly, difficult. Yeah, because of these withdrawal symptoms, you might just get into a negative mood, or become. Some people get aggressive, some people get impatient, irritable, all of that. Well, you can use reframing over there as well. You reframe it in such a way that you say to yourself, I'm getting irritable, means the withdrawal symptoms are here. That's good, because if the withdrawal symptoms are here, means the brain is changing. And if the brain is changing, then it's just a matter of time when the brain will be used to the new normal. Remember the word, the new normal. And the brain will be used to the new thing, and I'll be totally off smoking. So I'm getting the withdrawal symptoms is a good thing, which means the brain is changing. Yeah, that's a classic reframe you can use if you are quitting smoking or alcohol. Well, that's the simple concept of reframing. Hope you've liked it. Use reframing in your life whenever you get into a negative state of mind or negative thoughts, or if anybody makes a negative statement towards you or about themselves. Use reframing, get the positives out, and suddenly you'll realize that you're the most liked person around, because you'll always be in a good state of mind.